From the main menu, for the purposes of editing a program, select the program you want to edit. It has to be a program that was made with the wizard tool, which is indicated by the wizard text after the file name. Go up to the upper left here and hit Process Editor. Now you have the option of creating a new file, editing the selected file, or copying the selected file. If you create a new file or copy the selected file, it'll prompt you for the new file name. If you scroll up and down, you can select a different file if you change your mind about the file you want to edit. And so we're going to edit this selected file. So it brings up now the wizard record. It's the wizard. There's 11 steps in the wizard program. You can scroll through them and edit them. The buttons up top will highlight to tell you what the current step does. If it's a purge cycle, it'll highlight the purge button. You can click the purge button to edit the purge cycle. In this screen, it's driven by buttons and individual inputs. You can click on these values and it'll bring up a little pop-up display that allows you to edit, in this case, the purge gas duration, and that's in units of seconds. Also, if you want to know what any of these things do, you can just click the help button and it will scroll through with this arrow to indicate which function you're asking for help on, and then it will display help text in the upper right hand corner. It also gives an estimated runtime in the lower left hand corner based on what you input using this tool. Now when you're done here, you can either, if you haven't made any changes, you can click cancel. If you have made changes, you can click done. And go back to edit a profile. So in this program, there's actually two profiles that run. The first profile is only 3 steps, and then the second profile is many steps. So we're going to edit the temperature profile, and you can see that currently I'm selected on line 3 of the wizard record. So if I hit that's profile line 2, so if I click profile, it'll now take me to segment 2 of the first profile. So you see segment 2 of 3 over here. You can navigate through segments by clicking the previous and next buttons. Now when you're on segment 3 of 3, if you click next, it'll create a new segment, segment 4. You can do this up to 30 segments. So if you require more than 30 segments, then you can create a second profile. This particular program has 2 profiles that are less than 30, simply for testing out the function. On the left hand side, for each segment, you set your temperatures and times, and then you set the segment duration in seconds, minutes, or Celsius per hour, depending on what your process requires. SPA stands for Start Point Adjust. That tells the controller that if the prescribed temperature is not reached, then it will adjust the starting time of the next following segment. So that's what SPA means. You would use that if your temperatures are your temperature points before proceeding to the next step in the profile. If your temperature point is more important than anything else, then you would use SPA to guarantee that you're always at the necessary temperature before proceeding to the next step. There's also a number of other buttons on these pages. You have the option to copy the previous or copy the next segment. So that gives you the ability to pull in values, because when you make a new segment, for example, it's just a blank. If you copy previous, it pulls in everything from the previous segment. You can make whatever changes. So if you're just ramping down in temperature, for example, you can make that one single change without having to punch every other setting on the screen, and then hit done, and it makes the necessary changes to the program. And when you're done making all the changes you want, you would hit done on this screen. I don't want to save the changes that I've made, so I'm going to hit cancel. And that's the wizard editor program.